top 4 picks. I'm going to select slow draft speed on Pro Football Network so we can kind of look and maybe trade up or trade down. And yeah, let's get it going. So I'm picking the green and white. Let's rock out. All right. Pick number 1, Caleb Williams. Pick number 2, Drake May. Interesting. Pick number 3, Jaden Daniels. All right. Pretty standard. Marvin Harrison. All right. Joe Alt. Damn, Joe Alt going to the Chargers. McCarthy, a trade up by the Raiders. Olu Fashanu goes 7th. Dallas Turner 8. He's been linked to Atlanta. Adunze with a trade up by Cincinnati. Since he trades up to 9 with the Bears to take Adunze, which, by the way, is possible. People aren't talking enough about this. I could definitely see it, especially with Tyler Boyd out of town and they don't really know what the T. Higgins situation and their future looks like. It makes a lot of sense there. So I'm the Jets right now. I mean, this is easy. I would love for this to happen. This is great. McCarthy goes. We got a defensive guy goes. Fashanu goes. I like Fashanu, but it's sometimes good to let him off the board because that might bring us a player like Malik Neighbors. So I'm going to take Malik Neighbors at 10. So that worked out pretty well. All right, let's get this moving a little bit. All right. Terrion Arnold, Latu. Oh, Latham goes 14th. Brock Bowers hits 15. We have a take on the uSTADIUM app. Will he be a top 15 pick or not? So he actually goes 15th. Chop Robinson, nice player. Troy Fontenot goes 17. All right, so we're looking right now. We got to wait till 72, which kind of stinks. But let's see if we can trade up. I want to trade up. Okay, I'm going to look right now. I'm going to maybe pause the draft at some point. Let's wait until we start getting into the second round. I'm going to pause the draft and see what sort of offensive tackles we can look at. Jordan Morgan. I want Jordan Morgan. So I'm going to see when I could kind of strike when the iron's hot. I'm going to wait a little bit. Xavier Worthy. All right. So we had a tackle go off the board. The Chiefs, I'm going to pause it. Are they going to get a tackle? Let's say no. All right. Keon Coleman. A trade up. Are they going to get Jordan Morgan? No, they get Byron. All right. Byron Murphy in a trade up. Texans, good player. Really good player. Let's say we want to trade up into the early second round. And I want to go after, do like Christian Haynes too, but not there. I want Jordan Morgan. I want to come out of this draft with Malik Neighbors and Jordan Morgan. We're going to solve our issues. Let's offer a trade to the Cardinals. Or, you know what? Let the Cardinals pick. All right, Darius Rob. Let's trade up with the Chargers. I let a few picks go by. Again, it helps your trade value. If we were to trade up at 34, that would cost more than obviously 37. So let's trade up with the Chargers. They're a new team. I don't know if they're rebuilding, but, we could maybe make something happen. Let's see what we could do. We want 37. We're going to give them 72. We're going to give them 111, and we're going to give them a future third. The only reason I'm doing this is because I've done this before, and it's very difficult to trade on here. I know they use the real point system, but it's even more difficult, I think, than the real point system. So for us to trade up to 37, we want Jordan Morgan. We want a real quality offensive tackle in this draft. I would say he's the last of the second-tier guys. Or he's the first of the third-tier guys. If you put Mims and Guyton in the second tier, maybe he's the first. But he's good enough where he'll give you depth, and I really like the piece. Let's propose this. We're going to give him 72, 111, and we're going to give him next year's third. No, it's been rejected. See? Let's propose another trade. Same thing. We're going to go back to the Chargers. Again, I want Jordan Morgan, so I want 37. I'm going to give him 72. I'm going to give him 111. I don't want to give them, listen, I'm not going to give them 72, 111 and a second. I hate doing stuff like this. Let's give them a third and next year's fifth. Maybe we'll give them this year's. We'll give, that's too late. We'll give them next year's fifth. Let's see if they take it. All right. Trade's been rejected. All right. You know what? We're not going to move up. There's too much draft capital. I'm not feeling it. So McConkey goes. Oh, they might have liked McConkey. All right. So we got some guys going. All right. let's see if we could trade up with Washington. Morgan's still on the board. Again, the value now goes down for that pick because obviously we just went through McConkey, Rakastrow, and Haynes. We see an offensive guard going off the board. We want the offensive tackle. Let's propose the same trade to Washington. Washington, how are you doing? How you doing? All right, I'm going to give you 72-11 next year's second. That should get us 40, right? Oh, you know what? I'm not going to give him a second. I want to give him a third. Rejected. All right, this is a valuable pick. Washington, 40, 72, 111. If you give him 72 in next year's second, that's too much, though. I mean, this is a second rounder. I don't know. This might not work, guys and gals. This may not. Maybe give him 185 in next year's fourth. Nope. It's not going to work. So the more and more I'm doing this, it's going to be tough to trade up. I think because you have guys like Troy Franklin, Xavier Leggett, Malachi Corley, there's a lot of value with wide receivers. They don't know what we're doing. I mean, yeah, we got neighbors, but that still doesn't matter because they might be getting requests for that pick from other teams because you have the value of wideouts, I would say, definitely being, this star-studded. I mean, these guys, Corley, Leggett, and Franklin are very, very good. Are there any quarterbacks? No, I mean, Bo Nix is still there too, though. He's a valuable player. So let's wait a little bit. Jordan Morgan goes. See? That's where I wanted to take him. Valuable player. But let's wait now. So we basically missed the boat on a tackle. I like Kiran a lot. So let's see if we can snag Kiran later on in the draft. Malachi Corley, Bo Nix. See, these are the guys I was saying was going to go. Franklin, Leggett, Roman Wilson. All right, so we're keying in on Kiran Armagaji. That's our guy. Jets are linked to him. Love his feet, love his play. I really want him. So we're sitting here and we're going to let it happen. He should be there, definitely. Patrick Paul's probably going to go in the next couple picks, I would say, just because the value there. Peyton Wilson, great linebacker out of NC State. He's going to be a second rounder, most likely. Zach Frazier, I like as well. But let's wait. We're not going to trade up. We're going to wait. Still got some receivers. But do you see how the receivers are starting to thin out? McMillan goes. At 72, never mind that we got Malik Neighbors in the first round. At 72, it's going to be slimmer pickings at receiver. We're starting to get into the Pearsall, Tez Walker, Burton, Brendan Rice range. All right, so we're rolling up right now. Got some defensive guys going. Okay. Rosengarten went. Again, see? Kiran goes. Do you see that? Kiran Armagaji goes. Jets linked to him. Goes 70 to the Giants. Do you see why we're in a peculiar spot here? We're not in a great spot at 72 if we were to go weapon first because you're going to miss out on these guys. I mean, the tackle mark, Blake Fisher's good. I like Blake Fisher. He's probably who I'm going to key in on, but he's not a sure thing. Tight ends, forget. I mean, Jatavion Sanders actually is a good player. We don't need a tight end right now, especially considering that we got Malik. Wide receiver, we got Malik Neighbors. Running backs are getting a little thin, but you still got some good guys. I like Braylon Allen a lot. He's one of my favorite running backs in this draft. So is Bucky Irving. Not a big estimate. Corum, TBD. Quarterback, but guard. He's okay. I mean, I don't love 72. I'm just gonna. I mean, that's why it's a third round pick, right? All right, Chris Broswell goes. So we're up. Cleveland is offering us 85, and they're third next year for 72. Honestly, not a bad trade. Minnesota's offering us 108, 129. No, I'm not a big fan. I mean, why would you move down, 36 spots and then also give them 185 and then get, I mean, I'm fine with that. I think this deal's good. You know what? I like this deal. I do like this deal a lot because I think the value, if you look, right, like if we're just taking this in totality, we can go running back. I love Ray Davis. I love Marshawn Lloyd. So we can stay there. If let's just say we're not going receiver, we have Malik Neighbors. Blake Fisher, I like. I don't like him, I don't think, enough where I'm going to take him. Maybe we take Frank Crum later on in the draft. Had a really, really good combine. So maybe we're going to kick the can on tackle. Maybe we can get Blake Fisher. I mean, he's a 107th ranked prospect. Maybe we can get him at 85. And we'll get a third next year. Again, you have to think of value. So I'm going to accept it to build for a better draft next year. And I'm going to hope to get Blake Fisher at 85 because I'm looking at the board and I'm seeing Pearsall, Walker. You'll see they're all going to end up going right now. A bunch of running backs will go. And listen, if Fisher goes, maybe we take a running back. And you just change your approach. So let's accept this. Accepted. They got Chris Jenkins, the son. Wow, okay. Of our Chris Jenkins. All right. Keep Blake Fisher alive and well. Running backs are starting to go. I'm surprised more receivers haven't gone. It's a good pick. All right. What do we got here? All right. So we're in good shape right now. Ricky Pearsall goes. Tez is probably going to go soon too. All right. They're probably going to get a receiver. Oh, they traded down. Okay. All right. So we did pretty well, I would say. No, we're not accepting another trade. Do we have anything else on the table? No. Okay. So we're at 85. We moved back. There's nobody from 72, I would say, to 85 that I'm like, damn, we missed out on. You can look at some defensive guys here that are pretty good value, but Pearsall would be nice, but we got one of the best receivers in the draft. We got my man Malik. So we're sitting here right now. We're at 85. We have to make a decision. Listen, Blake Corum is an interesting prospect. Not the biggest fan because I think Michigan, the way that they kind of rock and roll on offense, I don't know if he's going to translate as well to the NFL on a team like ours as a backup. Maybe not in a system that makes sense for him. Aaron's not going to run the ball as much as people think, so I don't know if he'd fit here. He needs more of like a traditional kind of ground and pound kind of system that fits him, I think. Braylon Allen I really like a lot, actually. Gives me a lot of James Conner. So I like him, but no, I'm going to stick a tackle. Blake Fisher. Get Blake Fisher. Get some depth. We traded back, and we got a third next year for it. So I'm going to take Blake Fisher. Our next pick is 111. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to try to trade up for a running back. I am looking at, you know what? I don't want to trade up for a running back, actually. I want Ray Davis or Marshawn Lloyd. That's a good pick. Bartolini. But now receivers are going off the board. 111, cross your fingers that we have Ray Davis in the house. Corum went. Braylon Allen's there. I might take him. Damn, I might take him and then stack up Ray Davis later on. Again, this is the draft. You need to pick guys that you think, Ray Davis went. So Ray Davis goes 100th. I would have taken him probably at 111. Can't go by these rankings all the time. Corum goes in a trade up by the Cardinals. Ray Davis goes at 100th. I was looking at him. I want Braylon Allen. We're here. I'm not going to risk it. I am not going to risk it. I may offer a trade. The Patriots won't take a trade, so I'll resume. Spencer Rattler. All right. Mason Smith. Should I risk it, guys and gals? Should I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? There's some running back spots here. Tennessee needs a running back. Chargers need a running back. I don't know if I'm going to, you know what? Let's risk it. We're going to go Braylon Allen and Marshawn Lloyd at that spot. Let's hope we can get one. Johnny Wilson, come on, no running backs go. All right, Jatavion Sanders goes really late, Ash. That's a good pick for them. All right, we're good. Braylon Allen, that's what we're looking for. Will he go before? All right, Mekhi Wingo. And, all right, nice. So we pick up one of my favorite backs. Now we have Vegas. Vegas offering to move up. So they really like somebody. Let's see. Who does Vegas really like? Vegas really likes. Bet you they like Michael Pratt. You know what? Just for shits, let's accept a trade. We're moving back one pick, and we pick up an earlier 208. All right. They want Gun Caves. All right, that's fine. It's actually not a bad pick for us, actually, if you look at kind of the value chart. All right, so we're here. We're taking Braylon Allen. Big fan, like him. I actually really like Marshawn Lloyd, too. I want to get both. I want Braylon Allen. I want Marshawn Lloyd later. We have 134, so I may double up. I know that sounds wild, but shit, I may double up. So let's take Braylon Allen. We might start doing a little runoff for running backs. But let's see what we got. Bucky Irving, okay, running back. You're going to see a few other backs go. I'm hoping that Lloyd stays on the board. The Jets also do like Isaac Guerendo, sorry. All right, 134. What do we got? Receivers, Brendan Rice is still there. Jacob Cowing is still there, so I'm going to have a little bit of an issue. Jordan Travis goes in the 4th, projected to go late 4, early 5. All right, what do we got over here? All right, we're making waves. I'm telling you guys right now, I like Marshawn Lloyd that much. I'm taking 2 backs we can use when we can put one on the practice squad and then just start developing out. Running backs get hurt a lot. I'm gonna look at Marshawn Lloyd. Or Brendan, he just went. Jacob Cowing. So I'm between Cowing and Marshawn Lloyd. We got to score points, boys and gals. All right, Jalen Wright goes. So we have Jacob Cowing or Marshawn Lloyd. This is going to be interesting, but I'm going to take, when is our next pick? Oh, I just did 4 rounds. I'm going to take tackles. I didn't even look at defensive guys. I don't need defensive guys. I'm going to go 4 offensive guys. We got enough defensive guys. You know what? I don't know. Javon Baker, too, is interesting. You know what? Let's get another freaking slot receiver. Let's light this baby up. All right. So I like this draft a lot. I do. I didn't do the full. I should have done the full 7 rounds because I could have done some more. But if we're thinking offense, right? This is how you solve your offense. You get one of the best receivers in the draft. You get a quality tackle in this draft in Blake Fisher, someone that can play both sides, and you can basically teach him. And with all of the practice time that Blake's going to get, considering Tyron Smith's going to be sitting for most of practice, you'll be able to play Blake against some quality edge players. Bring him in, develop him out. Braylon Allen, that's a great running back prospect for you. And he'll play a little bit similar to Breece. He'll play off of Breece a little bit. Again, he reminds me, I was saying, of John Connor. So he gives you that bruiser with Breece's sort of speed and home run ability. They can match up very well. And then give us a slot. You have Malik Neighbors out there. Give us a kid that could play the slot. You know, Jacob Cowing will come in and he'll test Xavier Gibson for looks. And of all these guys, we also picked up a 3rd rounder next year because we moved from 72 to 85. And we picked up a future 3rd that gives you more draft capital. You could trade that pick even this year if you want to. So I should have done the full, but I really like this. I think this draft went very well for us. You know, you get Malik. Which I don't think will fall, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. I mean, you can make a case for any of these guys here. And if you say, oh, Fashanu won't, going 7th is crazy. Well, the Titans just met with J.C. Latham. Maybe they take him 7th. Then you have Dallas Turner, which has been linked here the entire time. I mean, the top's going to be similar to this. You might switch Aiden with Drake. Marvin, I think Alt will go somewhere here. The Raiders trading up makes sense. I mean, they need a quarterback. Where did Penix go, by the way? I don't know. Oh, yeah, he went 23rd to Minnesota, needs a quarterback. So we ended up with Malik. Then when we got to our pick at 72, we traded back with Cleveland and wanted Chris Jenkins, ironically enough. We traded back from 72 because I saw that Blake Fisher was going to be there at 85, and we need a tackle. And we got lucky because when we traded back from 72 to 85, we still got Blake. We picked up an extra third next year, and there was nobody in here that I really am looking at that I'm like, oh, we would have targeted. I mean, you have a safety, you have Kinchins, you have Josh Newton, two D-backs, which are out of our wheelhouse. We had defensive tackles go. Pearsall would be nice, but we already had Malik. So we picked up Blake Fisher. And then the fourth, we had 2 picks. We did well for ourselves. We got Braylon Allen, got a backup running back, a quality one in the fourth. And we got Jacob Cowing, too, in the fourth. I mean, listen, offensively speaking, if you want an offensive draft, this is how you do it. And I also picked up a third next year, so I didn't just use all of our draft capital. This is a way that the Jets could potentially fix their offensive woes in a 4-round mock. So, Frankie V here. Peace and love.